tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and up, stay born to a different kind of sing. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa.
Yo, what is up, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium? It is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Tuesday, and that can only mean one thing. You're right here for the K-Gun Report, brought to you by Buff Fanbase and 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com, give them all your money. Del Reed and the gang got all sorts of great threads over there. Tonight, we have a very, very special show. It was supposed to be a last week show. You guys will be so stoked that it got pushed to this week. We got the one, the only, the number one reigning, most often occurring guest on the K-Gun Report, Mr. Mark Maddox, here with us tonight. We're going to be ranking opposing defenses that we're going against, and we got training camp news, all sorts of really good stuff that we're getting into. I'm going to roll this intro, and then I'll tell you what, we're just gonna get right into it. Here we are, and here it is on another beautiful Tuesday. What's up, everybody? I am Swank, your host, and listen, I know you want me to get to the Twins. I'll get to the Twins, but first, I got to welcome back our man, the man, Mr. Mark Maddox. What's up, Mark? How are you?
Not much, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Glad that you could join us tonight.
I'm glad I made it tonight, too. No hiccups today.
So you want a nice, smooth Tuesday. You know, that leads into like hanging out, not hectic craziness. All right, up here next to me, my brother from another mother. You might know him as one half of the Gruesome Twosome. That's Scoot Magoot right there. Scott, what do you got?
What's up, Bills Mafia? Welcome to the K-Gun Report. I got this on my head right here. Had to show it off. We referenced Jarrod's first autograph ever, and it was Mark Maddox. And it's actually, you can't see it because it's hard to read, but this is the hat, and this is the hat that Mark Maddox signed for Jarrod.
I can see the scribbles on there.
Sweating it too much, but
too late, dude.
Who'd have thunk? Here we are.
Circa 1994.
Yep.
Wow.
I want to know, how did you end up with that? Because if I was Jarrod, I wouldn't have ever let that thing out of my sight.
We lived with each other forever. I mean, departments and all that stuff. So eventually,
you just snuck it out.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Welcome.
The owner of that hat right here, kitty corner down there, is the other half of the Gruesome Twosome, Mr. Jerry Reed. What is up, Jerry? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. 2 weeks in a row, I'm here, and it's exciting.
Another
and
record.
Good weather here tonight, so that's awesome. And I can't wait to talk some Buffalo Bills defense with not only defensive guru, but our buddy Mark Maddox is here, and it's exciting.
Hell yeah. Guys, as I mentioned, we are brought to you by the Buff Fanbase Network, and we are super proud to be part of that. And we're sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Del Reed and the gang got all sorts of great things cooking up over there. I have a sweet shirt on the way. It's the Misfits Mafia one with the buffalo skull. I'm super stoked on it. And so just go there, give them all your money. We are going to get to ranking the opposing defenses for this season. Also, training camp started today, but let's say hi to some people in the comments here. What do you guys think? We got Corey Blaine tagging a bunch of people as usual. Thanks a lot, Corey. How you doing, brother? We got Adam saying, let's go Bills Mafia. How you doing, Adam? We got Patrick Hughes. What's up, Mafia? What do you all want to talk about? Get to cracking, and let's rock and roll. That's right, Jarrod. I threw out that Mark Maddox was here with a bunch of R's, too. We got Adam saying, can't wait for another stellar episode of the K-Gun. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Corey says, sorry, boys. Won't be here tonight at a concert. Gonna rewatch tomorrow. Go Bills. Hope it's a great show. That's all right, Corey. What show are you at, dude? And if I was at a concert, I don't know if I would have popped in and wrote a little comment, but I appreciate you doing it, man. Thank you.
Service. Everybody shut up. I'm looking for service.
We got Berto saying, hey, Mafia fam. Hope everyone's well. How's it going, Berto? Good to see you, brother. Doug says, woo, let's go. Happy Tuesday, Mafia. That's right. Patrick says, football withdrawal is real because I can't wait for the preseason. It's on the horizon. That's what it is today, man. You can taste it. Tracy says hello to Mr. Mark Maddox. Do you know Tracy?
Yes,
Mark?
I know Miss Tracy. Hello, Miss Tracy. Miss you. Hope things are well.
We got Paulette, the amazing Paulette Brown, saying, hey, my Mafia family. Hope everyone had a great day. Let's go, Buffalo. Hi, Paulette. How are you doing tonight? Let's see. Patrick says, Swank Oliver in the house. Yeah, that's right. I got my Ed Oliver jersey on. I'm hoping to score myself a Mark Maddox jersey finally. You know what? It's been enough time. I think I got to get one. Harold says, the eve of training camp. Yes, sir. The amazing Lisa Johns. How's it going, Lise?
Mark, quick question for you. And I know the last 10 or 15 years have been really big on jersey sales and stuff like that, and people have them everywhere now. But back in your day when you were watching football, high school or college, did you have if the jersey was available, which jersey would you be picking to wear, represent?
Oh, when I was
When you were watching football, what player would you like to have
Tony
on?
Dorsett.
Okay.
Yeah, Tony Dorsett or Walter Payton. Just the great running backs. I loved all the running backs, but Tony Dorsett and Payton were my two favorites.
Nice.
Not a bad choice.
No, those are pretty damn good ones.
I got a little country in me. Come on now.
There you go.
All right.
Little Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got John saying good Tuesday. Everyone, what's up, John Johns? A lot of people saying hi to Mark here. We got Dr. Bruce McKellar saying, hey, Mafia, go Bills. Dr. Bruce is a content creator over 247buffpandemonium.com. Go check out the injury report. We're going to have some good stuff coming out here with training camp on the horizon. Oh, man. Hi, Mark. Berto. Hi, Mark Maddox. Paulette. Hello, Mark Maddox.
Hello,
John Johns.
Hello.
Say there's a nice long list I'm seeing over here.
Patrick Hughes is upset that we're not cooking with you this evening. I don't know. Last time it was chicken, I believe. Chicken wings, maybe. You're making for your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, your mom was home last time too. Again, yeah.
Yeah. And, well, she just left again, and guess what I made? More wings.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome. We got Uncle James. How's it going, Uncle James? You guys are killing it, man. The amazing Ellen Lartz. Hello, everyone. Great to see you, Mark. We got our boy Kevin. What's up, those Mafia brothers? And Mr. Maddox. How's it going, Kev? Tracy tried Facebook this time. It says, tell Mark I said hi. She's hitting all the social medias.
She's getting all of them. Hey, Tracy, welcome to the show, Tracy.
Not making any risky moves here. You got to make sure. Thanks, Tracy, for tuning in.
It's funny.
Let's see. Matthew Prince. How good is Curtis Samuel? Ooh, you want to take a quick question here? What do you think, Mark? You got an opinion on Curtis Samuel?
Not really. Not right now. You know, you just want to make sure that when these guys start, that they just start off strong, you know, and can live up to their name and just be able to do what they're capable of doing and maybe more than we would expect. But it's just one of those things you just have to wait and see. And that's like with anyone, even draft picks, you know, you can have all these accolades and everything like that, but you just have to wait and see, and you have to be in the right fit. You know, the right fit means so much today in this game, because as you can see, I'll give you a great example. And you guys know I don't like this guy that much. Okay. Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah.
He was a better fit in Buffalo's defense than he was in the Bears. I watched the Bears game and he was non-existent. I didn't even know he was on the team until like the fourth quarter when he made a play. I forgot that he was on the team. That's how that, you know, when you're in the right fit, and coaches, like I said, it's up to the coaches to put you in a position to be successful. And so that's what we'll have to wait and see, is if he's going to be put in a position to be successful.
It's kind of crazy with that whole story, because I think the Bears are in just such dire straits right now. Like it's just so bad there that, like, you know, he should be making every play. Like, shouldn't he? Like, who else is on that defense? So yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
Not only that, but they haven't signed their rookie quarterback or wide receiver yet. So what the hell's going on over there in Chicago?
Nobody wants to be there, man.
We'll leave it up to them.
Well, like what Mark said, I mean, different scheme, different quarterback, different everything. And I know the hype with Curtis Samuel is he's never played with a great quarterback like Josh Allen, but they still need to mesh. it still needs to happen. It's a big deal with those quick patterns, those out patterns, those out comeback patterns. It's all timing, and if you can't figure out timing with a quarterback, you're just as good as the last guy on the roster. So come out hot, get to know Josh. You've got the speed, you've got the talent. It just needs to all come together, fruition, and work out that way. So you never know.
Yeah, 100%. This is the time to figure that out, right? Start getting a little bit of a connection going. Dr. Bruce says he got the best Mark Maddox autograph jersey that he won right here on the K-Gun. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Hell yeah.
Good job.
Mary, good evening all. Bills entered camp today. See the large screen TV Keon carried in. No, I did not, but I saw some of the little videos that they did there. It was pretty funny. The media team there is crazy, dude.
Oh, yeah, they're good. Did you see Keon signing his contract? The footage on that?
Yeah.
He's like, So, Mark, he's sitting there, he's signing his contract. And kids nowadays, they don't learn cursive, so they don't know signatures. So he's like, do I sign? Do I put my initial? What do I put? Like I'm signing an autograph. And the guy leaning over the papers, like, he looks up, he winks at the front office. He's like, just sign your autograph there. But it was funny because, young guy.
Yeah.
He told him, sign your full name.
Yeah, sign your full name, man.
Oh, my God.
Millions of dollars here. Just sign it.
Oh, my God.
Sarah was like, she's like, is he really that dumb? And I think, I don't think he's that dumb. I think he's like that cautious about like, well, do you want me to scribble like what I scribble when people like a kid gives me a football, or do you want me to actually sign it? It's like, well, it's a multi-million-dollar contract. You probably want to actually sign your name. But
right.
I don't know. That's just me.
Make it a little legible.
Yeah.
Right.
Just put a big X.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're lucky they didn't tell him just to put an X. Oh my.
Mary Jane, the question's going to be if Keon leaves it after he leaves camp for that upcoming student in that room.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Ah, that's a good call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We got Dan saying, good evening, everyone. Great to see you all again. You guys, man, I love the love. I love the love in the comments that you guys got, man. Let's see. Yeah, you guys are great, man. All right. I can. Geez, it's too much. You see, Mark, when we have you on here, man, I can't keep up with anything. I get like 30 minutes behind on comments. People start getting pissed.
Well, the thing is, which is awesome. It's a beautiful thing. But last week, Mark, we kind of went in. We still were going to go over the defense and stuff, but we decided to take comments, and it led us all the way through the full hour. And our fans that watch us are amazing. They not only do they intermingle, but Andre Reed was on commenting and keeping the people going. So if we allowed it, which we do, if we allowed it, we would have a whole hour and a half probably just answering questions.
Hey, sometimes that makes for the best show.
It was great. Yeah, we missed it, but it was fun.
Yeah, it's not just your topic that you're talking about, but you get other people and the things that they like to talk about, like the classes that I do with some of the ladies, sessions that I do talking about defense with the ladies. I love when they ask questions, and because those questions just lead to more information, more knowledge, just more understanding, and it does. Sometimes I'm like, we start and then they start asking questions. I'm like, we're only supposed to be on here an hour, but we're going to end up being on here like 2.5 hours.
Going over.
Yeah. And I don't stop. I keep going, and they're like, and they love it. So, but the people who support you is the most important thing. And giving back and listening and letting them have a voice is amazing. Yeah.
I think that's what I love so much about this. Cause when we started, it was so small and it just like grew this little community that like, just, we wanted to make sure everybody was recognized. Everybody's got a voice here. However you're a fan, we're appreciative of it, and it was fun, man, going back and forth, bouncing it off people, but I couldn't keep up. I was just like 5, 10, 15 minutes behind. It'd be like a topic from forever ago. I'm like, I'm trying my best, man. I'm an amateur. I don't know, Yeah. All right, guys. Well, real quick, not a whole lot of news except players are reporting for training camp today. There's all sorts of goofy stuff online. Go follow the Bills. You can check all that out. A lot of fun stuff. I don't know. This is going to be a whole nother show, I'm sure, next week or something. But there's just a lot of really fun question marks, I think, going into training camp and seeing on both sides of the ball, really. But I'm really excited, aside from the obvious wide receiver side of things, about what this defense is going to look like with Bobby Batchich and all the changes and everything else going into it. So I don't know. It's super, super exciting. Like you said, it's like the beginning of the season for me right now, and I love it. Mark, when you were going into training camp, man, this day right here, right, the day before you guys, like I don't know how was it. It probably wasn't exactly like this, right? Like, did you report the day before you actually went to camp, or did you just come to camp?
No, it was we reported the day before, but we had meetings, and we had meetings that evening, I believe. We had a certain time to be there, and then we had meetings in the evening to go over basically camp protocol, what we were going to be doing and what's going to be going on and stuff like that, rules, regulations, and, getting everything, all your checks and balances in a row. So guys, you would know what to expect, know what to do, know where to be, know what time, talk about the curfew, talk about practice schedule, when you're getting up, wake up, breakfast, lunch, meetings, practice, how it's all going to lay out. So that would be tonight. They should have a meeting tonight, and then they would start the following day, that next morning with I don't know what they're doing now. We did 3-a-days. We practice in the morning, no, we did 2. We practice in the morning, practice in the afternoon. Sometimes we would have like a special teams, maybe late after dinner, maybe a time or two, if I might remember correctly, but my brain doesn't work that well. But we always had the 2-a-days, except for if we were coming home, we might have a practice in the morning and then get to go home in the afternoon. So, but they'll lay all that stuff out for the guys.
So I got a quick one for you, Mark. Nowadays, the kids, after they practice or their downtime, they got Madden, or even college football 2025 is out here now. In early 90s, there was Tecmo Bowl, Tecmo Super Bowl, all that. You guys playing video games back then in Fredonia when it was it in Fredonia?
It was in Fredonia. Oh, believe me, it was in Fredonia. For me, some of the guys, there weren't really many video games, back then in the dorms and stuff like that. Most of the guys would go back and rest because, our practices were full go. They weren't like the non-contact and anything like that. And, after you got done with practice, you took care of your bumps and bruises, and you went back and you got some rest. You got your lunch, you got some rest, and you got ready to come back for practice again, get those bumps and bruises again, go back for dinner. And then you have those evening meetings and stuff like that. But yeah, no, we didn't have, I don't remember a lot of video games in the dorms or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
TVs and movies and stuff like that more than anything else.
Yeah.
Okay, only because I'm a foodie guy, Swank, and I hate to go back-to-back questions. How was the food?
Go ahead, buddy.
Because I saw the Olympics. They're preparing in the Olympics, and they're getting some French cuisine there, and they're all excited about that. How was Fredonia's food for this training camp?
Okay, well, our Fredonia food was Rusty Jones' food. Rusty Jones was our strength and conditioning coordinator, and he had a system, and his system was really good. He categorized guys by color, red, yellow, or green. Okay, your lean guys were all green; they could eat whatever they want.
Yeah.
Okay. Your guys who were kind of in the middle were yellow. So when you seen something that was red, you could have it, but you really shouldn't have it. And if you were a guy that was red, you were only supposed to eat the green stuff, not the red stuff. But Fredonia, they had good spread for us. Rusty Jones had a good meal plan for us, and he had the foods that gave us the energy that we needed for our bodies. So he had the fuel that we needed, and they provided it, and it was good. I never complained about any meal that we had at in Fredonia.
I had to. I'm a foodie, so I got to know this stuff.
Yeah, he had it laid down for us. But like I said, you want to be green because you can eat whatever you want. But when you were red, and the red were mostly your offensive linemen and your defensive linemen, and some of your tight ends, some of your linebackers, they were on that cusp of being in the yellow where they were like, "Ooh, I shouldn't have this," but so I didn't complain because I was like 4.5% body fat, so I was green. I could eat whatever I wanted. So, But most of our linebackers were, I think our biggest linebacker, David White was a bigger linebacker. Marlo Perry was a little bit bigger, not as lean. Who else? Monty Brown and Marcus Patton probably are the leanest. They were low 4% also. And but yeah, and Biscuit wasn't lean because he was a big dude. You know, he wasn't lean. He was probably 6%, which is still, that's great. But when you looked at him compared to like Marcus or me, where we were just skin, you know, it was like you were like, but he was so athletic and so built. It was amazing. Can't even say enough about how great he was, and how much more he deserves to be recognized by the NFL. But that hasn't happened yet. Hopefully one day it will. But yeah, but the food, like I said, Fredonia had good food.
All right, let's see. Patrick Hughes says, Mr. Maddox, who is someone you're excited to see on the Bills defense this year?
Still Bernard.
Yeah.
I like watching him, but I want to see how they play. Him and Milano get a chance to play together throughout a whole year. So those are the two guys that I'll be watching, just because I'm a linebacker and I really, really want to see those guys. But if I had to pick someone non-linebacker, it'd be Ed Oliver, because I like his energy that he has in the middle. Yep, good jersey. Yep, and the reason that I say him is because those guys don't get the recognition, you know, being in the middle, because they're the ones that take up all the blocks for those linebackers. So that's the reason I really watch, and I'd like to watch him and see how well he does and plays.
It'll be interesting to see with Daquan signing and then the rookie that they got, what the snap counts are going to be, and how much. I don't know. I just see Ed having a really good year, man. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. So that'd be awesome. Oh man, we got tons of questions for you. What do you think about Von Miller from our boy Kevin?
I know how it feels coming back from an injury, especially an ACL that first year. You're not the same depending on how bad it was in your recovery time and everything like that. Your second year is always better. I was a lot better my second year than I was the first year. And I felt like last year he was like non-existent to me on the field. You know, he was just on the field. They would have been better off putting someone else in, because he didn't have the ability to cut like he would normally cut. But I do feel that, you know, the off season has really helped him get his game back. So I really truly feel that he will be more of a factor this year than he was last year. Well, he wasn't a factor. So he will be much more of a factor this year than he was last year, because you're always, I feel that you come back stronger that second year than you do that first year.
Is there something like, I mean, mentally, obviously, when you have an injury like that and you're coming back and all that stuff, like it has to take a while to get, like, to trust yourself to know that you can do the things right.
Yeah. It's just not the same. You guys seen the training camp fight, and the reason the training camp fight was because he went after my legs after you know, having my knee hurt. So that, you know, it's like, I'm going to kill you because you're trying to take away my livelihood. You don't do that. And as in your brain tells you, you yourself think, hey, I'm okay, I can do this. Okay. But your brain does something completely different, because your brain is controlling everything. You think you are, but your brain is. You get ready to go step and plant, and your brain's like, you can't do that. But you think you can, and you can't. And you're trying to do something, but your body's not letting you do it. And I think that's one of the things that really hindered him this past year, was that factor. I watched game film from after when I came back from my injury, and I could see myself. I remember I can think that felt like I was doing everything right, but I could see myself running. But when it came time to stopping, I could see myself stopping with a limp, where I wasn't putting all that weight on my leg. But if someone would have told me that I was doing that, I would have been like, no, I wasn't.
No. Yeah.
You know, I stopped completely fine. And so, but I think Vaughn will be, he'll be 100 times better for sure. You know, than he was last
There's
year.
nowhere to go but up. Yeah,
exactly. The ceiling, just straight up. That's it.
Yeah, their mind's got to fight that muscle memory too, and your muscles remember that injury. It's not like it goes away. So Like you said, your brain might think you're doing the right thing, but subconsciously and muscle wise, they're saying something else to each other. And
Yep.
yeah, to defeat that battle, it's got to be some crazy technique too.
Yeah, it's just the trust in your body. You know your body, and your body will tell you what's working, what's not working. And so,
I do love the deal that he cut when he restructured everything to make it more incentive based on his part. I hope that he gets paid this year, but that's all connected now to him performing. So it was kind of like a win-win, and I think a lot of fans are stoked about that. So
right,
I don't know,
because he's saying, "Let my actions show you."
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. John McCarthy. He's got a paragraph for you here. Can you read that, Mark? The lake has recognized. The lake has recognized how big the fest is getting. They are now issuing a special permit so we can have an entire park with no issue or problems. Great news for the future cornhole events.
Sounds like Mark got an event coming up.
Yeah, no, they the Bills Fest John has out at Lake Pleasant every year, which is really good. They have music, big cookout with the people having food, and everybody just gets together. And we host a cornhole tournament there. But one of the guys was kind of a knucklehead because they said we needed a permit in the parking lot because we had took up some parking spaces where we were the only group that was over there. But it's a campground. It's and state campground, and they do have people come in, pay to come in, and they weren't coming up there to the park, but if they needed to come up there to the park, that's why the guy was having some issues with us having a cornhole there. So we had to kind of move and rearrange last year to accommodate the guy. So, but yeah, Bills Fest is actually really good. If you get a chance, it's like I said, it's right on the lake. It's in March or April, and the weather's great, and they're Bills fans from all over. Some of the people that I met in Buffalo when I was back last year with Bob, they came down from California, and the guy from Seattle named Jim Baggs, he came down. It was a great time, and to see all of them and for them to show up, it was amazing.
It seems like we probably owe Mark a trip, boys, so that we should pick one of these events and just show up sometime, I think.
I agree.
We got the best handle on the internet, Mr. Nate Nacho, saying, "What up, fellas? Go Bills." What's up, Nate Nacho? Doug says, "You know what? Keep these questions coming in. I love it." Mark, when you played for Buffalo, was training camp anywhere other than Fredonia?
No.
No.
We just had a couple, or I know one time we went and I don't know, was Pittsburgh at Edinburgh College, I think, practicing. I don't know if it was Edinburgh, but we went and did a week with the Steelers at their location and practiced with them for a week. But other than that, it was always at Fredonia. Yeah, Fredonia was great. I can't say anything but good things about Fredonia. I met a ton of great people there.
Nice. That was I never hit a camp before St. John Fisher. I've heard all the stories and all that stuff. It's funny though, because like a lot of people that I've talked to that's gone to both, they said like it feels like the same distance. Like like driving to Fredonia from Buffalo was like just so long for whatever reason. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right, guys. Well, you're doing great. I'm way behind again. Here's a huge question. You want a huge question? Sure. Hey, number 55. Awesome to see you here with the boys. My question is, who do you think will be calling the defense? If it's not DC Bobby Babich, then would it be the reason Coach McDermott won't turn the reins over to him this year? I think Bobby's got it, right? Like that's the way I feel about it, but.
See, and it's so funny that he asked that question because I was thinking the same thing. Okay, you look at Leslie Frazier; it was McDermott's defense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is Babich going to, Where did Babbage come from? Again,
I don't know where he came from originally. He's been with McDermott for a couple seasons now, like coming up through the ranks.
Okay,
but I don't know where he was originally.
And it's like, so it's most likely going to be his It's still, I still think it might be McDermott with him calling it, with Babbage calling it. But it's like one of those things. That's the same thing. Like I said, that's the same thing I thought. Is he going to have full reins, do what he wants, or is it still going to be McDermott ultimately making the calls? Because, like, I'll tell you, like when I came to Arizona, Vince Tobin was the head coach, and Vince Tobin was a defensive guru. Okay. And Dave McGinnis was our defensive coordinator, but Dave McGinnis and Vince Tobin are the ones who put the defense together. And it was Vince's defense, and him and Dave would go over stuff and figure out what was best, this and that, and go from there. But if Tobin wanted something done, that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he'd make his suggestions to coach at the time, Coach McGinnis, but I think Coach McGinnis, when it came to the game plan, he put the game plan in, but it was McGinnis's game plan or game calling, play calling, but it was Tobin's defense. And if Tobin thought something was up or wrong, he'd, correct it and have the coach change and stuff like that.
So Bobby Babbage, real quick, has been a part of the Buffalo Bills since 2017, assistant defensive backs coordinator. Then he went on to be a safeties coach. But before then, he was college at FIU and the Cleveland Browns. He's touched on Carolina Panthers. So as young as he is, he's actually been a coach of some sort of capacity since 2006. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking since he came right up in 2017 when McDermott came through, McDermott probably trusts him enough to call the defense. And you're right, Mark. If anything goes awry or anything like that, McDermott will be there and not be afraid to say, "Hey, son, I've got the reins for this rest of this quarter," or something like that.
Right. It probably, and the coaches don't usually take over like that. They usually just, make mention to the coach, "Hey, we need to do this or we need to do that," and then
I blitz here.
Right. Or here's where the biggest part of that communication will happen at halftime. Okay. When they come in at half for the corrections, that's when McDermott will be really, really putting in a lot of input on the game plan and what they should be doing or what they could be doing or what they need to change up. That's if he's going to release the reins.
Right.
There was that one game that McDermott did that with Leslie Frazier where he actually took over the play calling after halftime.
Exactly.
Yeah. He like took it from, it was like a big controversy the next week because they actually came back and won. I think they were getting their asses kicked, and then he took over, and then he gave it back to Leslie, and they were like, "Well, if you don't trust him," he's like, "No, it's not that I don't trust him. It's just that situationally in that game, what they were doing that time, I knew what I wanted, so I did it. And now, yes, 100% I trust him. He's a great coach."
Right. Again, you do that at halftime. You're not throwing someone under the bus right in front of all the fans and TV to see on the sideline. So that's, do it all at halftime.
Yep, exactly.
Lisa Johns, I am not ignoring you. I know that you want all things Micah Hyde all the time, and I love you. I have no idea, nothing. The last I heard, he was going to retire unless the Bills needed him, and that was about it. So I don't think there's really any news on it. Paulette following up on that. Did he retire? Is he playing? I don't think he's officially retired. I think he's still kind of in that wait and see mode. I don't really, again, we've talked about it a couple times on the show. Like, for me, I don't think we need a lot of those players coming back again and again and kind of rehashing that. I love his personality. I think he'd be great for the locker room. He always has been. But I think that this is kind of like that season that they need to take that step in the safety position and move forward and kind of, get their knots and push on and see what they got. Not to say Michael wouldn't be great depth, but yeah, I don't know. You got an opinion on that, Mark?
Well, I mean, you always like that veteran leadership in the locker room, but I told someone, I'm like, it's like this here. The coaches and the player personnel people, they draft people for a reason. They pick them up for a reason. They pick up free agents. They pick up their draft picks, and they have a time frame when they expect to see these guys contribute to the team. Okay, and they have an exit plan for the veterans also on the team, because you never know when these veterans are going to leave anyway. With free agency and stuff like that. So what I think is that Micah Hyde, I think he would be great as a leader on the team. Okay, as a player, he's doing his job. Maybe a step slower than he was, but he's still making plays and still doing his job consistently and effectively. Oh my God, mother. The one thing I will say is that I know he will stay in shape, because you never know when a team's going to need someone throughout the year. Okay, even if he does retire, he still will stay in shape, unless he's just hanging up his shoes. If he's going to just hang them up, he won't stay in shape. And if anyone called him, he won't. He'll just tell them he's done. But I think, like I said, it was the same situation back when I played, because I never thought, with the talent that we had on that team, that I would be starting inside linebacker my third year. I never thought that. Being a 9th round draft pick and being on that team, I never thought that I would be a starting linebacker on that team. And they let Shane Conlon go and Carlton Bailey. Shane Conlon's all pro, and then you got Carlton Bailey. And they let those two guys go and let Marvcus and I take over. You just never know. But they see the talent, they see what they have, and they utilize it as best as they can to get those guys in there when they need them. Look at Terrell Bernard. They paid all this money to Tremaine Edmonds, and they could have given half of that to Bernard, and he would have performed just as well as Bernard did, or as well as Edmonds did.
Edmonds, yeah.
But when they let him go, that's the reason they didn't re-sign him, is because they felt that they could replace him, and that's the reason these teams do that, is because they don't just sit there and say, well, Micah Hyde's a little slow, we got this guy. They're saying it's his turn. It's time for him to come in and show us that he can perform. He can do what we know he can do. And that's the reason, that they do that with the veterans and stuff like that. Because like I said, I thought they would have signed Shane or Carlton back that year. I didn't think they let both of them go in the same year.
Right. Yeah, it's a crazy business, man. I'm glad they did, by the way.
Yeah. I am too.
Going back to Micah Hyde, I think it's going to be one of those things that he only wants to play for the Bills, and if he comes back, it's only going to be because something happened to that secondary, and we got a lot of good young bucks there. So I'm excited to see what the secondary has to offer this season. I think it might be a little bit improvement, quicker, younger speed. But again, I think Micah Hyde's just, if he does come back, it's just because something happened in that secondary that he needs to be here and he'll stay in shape.
He did say that, it was either retirement or Buffalo. And in my heart, I'm like, that's amazing. I do wonder what's going to happen if Buffalo doesn't come knocking after the first couple of weeks and he's getting antsy. And if another team does offer him a little bit of money to come finish out a season, like, I don't know, man. If your heart's in it, you want to play, then fine. And if not, you want to be a Buffalo Bill for the rest of your life and go out like that, cool. But I kind of think, the man himself right here has told us you got to make your money while you can make your money in this league, right?
Yeah, so. You have to, because it's one of those things where if you get hurt, you're done, which I think is great now that these guys are getting, guaranteed money. Whereas back in our days, the only guaranteed money you got was your signing bonus. And your signing bonus was never, you was just it. And it was prorated over the length of your contract. But today, these guys are getting that guaranteed money, which is amazing. And, they deserve that, because there's just so much money in the game.
Now you can make your money even halfway through the season. And that's what a lot of players like Micah Hyde do. They stay in shape. And if some team comes a hollering because they need that backup safety or backup player, Linval Joseph was one of those guys from the Minnesota Vikings. He signed late with the Buffalo Bills last year because there were injuries. So you can make your money still.
Yeah.
As you get older, hey, my first game will start in November. I'm healthy through the playoffs. There's a lot of that going on in the NFL now.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's going to stay in shape for sure.
Hey, you had 2 quarterbacks the whole season that played every game, right? This last year. So I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's physical. They need players. Patrick Hughes, Mr. Maddox, outside of the Ralph, what was your favorite field to play on?
Oh, that's kind of easy for me, I think. Which I always had some issue that happened whenever we went there. Joe Robbie.
Okay.
Back then on that Bermuda grass, whoo, that was a great place to run.
Nice.
You know, that was probably one of the favorite. Worst place was Philly and Pittsburgh, because they had the turf with the baseball fields on them.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, so you had just these flat boards over the bases and home plate and all of that stuff in the middle of the field. And you can end up tripping because they weren't even and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So Joe Robbie had the, what was that called? Bermuda
grass.
Okay. Now what does that mean? Is it just a specific breed of grass?
Yeah, it's just it's a Bermuda grass is, I don't know, it's fast. That's all I know. And it's soft and it's smooth. It's like running on artificial turf, but not artificial turf. Yeah.
Okay. I called them chunky fields, because those were the fields that they were beautiful to look at, and throughout the game you'd see them chunking up because the sod was so thick on those things.
Not in Florida. That's going to be like in Green Bay and Chicago and Cleveland. Cleveland was by far one of the worst grass fields that we played on.
Yeah.
That's where I got hurt, because we had to wear 1-inch cleats just to, you said, how the grass comes out. That's what we had to wear, 1-inch cleats just to get traction and keep your feet in the ground. And that's how come I hurt my leg, because as I was running to jump over, when my leg planted in the ground, I had nowhere to go, and my leg just twisted up behind me. Yeah, it was horrible.
That sucks. It seems like it's so weird to me that they haven't just like blanketed it across the NFL to just make it like good. It's such a huge product. There's so much money involved. And I mean, that's like beyond the fact that there's human beings running full speed, slamming into each other, trying to get traction. And like, you know, I don't know. It's almost like the ref thing to me. Like, why haven't we figured all of this out yet for this product that has like been around forever and it's so valuable? Like, it's insane to me.
Yeah, I think the refs, like you just brought up the refs. I think the refs should be full time, where that's their only thing that they do, and they have classes every day, just like the teams have practices every day, going over film, seeing stuff. But you know, like I said, I give those officials a lot of credit, because they see some stuff that you look at in slow motion and you wonder how they got it right. Mm-hmm. They get it right more than they get it wrong.
Yeah.
On those instant replays. Okay. And I know we give them a hard time, because sometimes, you know, when the call goes against you, you're like, oh, he didn't see it. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, how did he see that?
Yeah.
You know, especially think about they're looking at it full speed. They're not getting instant replay. They're not getting instant replay on the tuck and the ball in his hands at the same time. Okay. Oh, he had control over it. I see that he had control over it, even though half his body was out of bounds and his feet were still inbounds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he's doing it, you know? And so I have to give them their credit, because like I said, they get the calls right way more than they get it wrong, way more. Okay.
And half the people still hate them for it, even if they get it right.
Especially if it goes against you.
Yeah, exactly.
I had some friends, they are in my class, they were talking about marking the football and where the ball is marked in the chain crew. I'm like, listen, the chain crew is absolutely on point where they're at. It's a matter of where the ball is marked and where the ball is placed. Is the only way they would be able to do that is they would have to have a transponder in the ball. They'd have to have something that would be able to circle the ball 360 all the time to be able to precisely put it down where he was down. You know, that's the only way. And that will cost too much money. And you just, you know, it would be something that, you know, it throws off the football. It's going to be something that's going to be different. And, you know, and can it be done? I'm pretty sure it could. I know there's technology out there that they can find a way to do it. but then how much more of this stuff do you have to implement into the stadiums? Now, when you look back at the history of the game and we talk about those football fields, you know, these teams were leveraging, you know, just from in their city. So when you look at a Pittsburgh, when you look at a small community of Buffalo, you didn't have those funds to build the new stadium. You didn't have those funds to redo all of this stuff. You know, you didn't have the funds that Dallas was bringing in, okay,
Right.
because they're bringing in so much more money. They're able to do these things because that revenue wasn't being shared equally amongst all the teams, you know. And so that's what made it harder back then. But today, as you see, they're still doing the taxes and stuff like that. But they're giving these stadiums, they're trying to make them more uniform throughout the league. But like someone asked me about grass and turf and with injuries and non-injuries. Last year, like after Milano got hurt, you know, the research was when you looked at the top 10 fields that had injuries on them, I think 7 of them, I think it was 70% were turf that the injuries were on out of the top 10. But in the top 5, 3 were grass. 1 was grass, I think 3 was grass, and 5 was grass. So you got 3 out of the top 5 grass. And so you're saying that grass is worse or turf is worse than grass, but you have more people who have gotten hurt on grass fields than on turf fields. Okay. So, and I say, so, you know, so it can't be that way. You have so many variables that you have to look at with these facilities. You have to look and see how many concerts are there, how many things are also in that stadium, especially the grass fields and stuff like that. What college team plays there? Does a college team play at that stadium? You know, and go from there. Or do you have those like during the playoffs? Do you have a bowl game at your stadium? You know, how is that field going to hold up from one week to the next week? You know, or you have a Saturday bowl game and a Sunday pro game. You know, how is that field going to hold up? So, you know, I think that the turf and grass has to be relative to where you are. I can guarantee you, if I go to Green Bay, which they have a hybrid field, or if I go to Chicago, which is an outdoor facility, or even Kansas City, I want turf. I don't want I want turf because that ground is going to be like cement. It's going to be hard as a rock. Okay. In the wintertime. It's just like in Buffalo, I want turf because the ground may be hard, but is not going to change its consistency because it's 0 degrees. The ground is not going to give. You're going to be running on ice if it's just a grass field. You know, you're running on a solid rock. Okay. That turf is not going to change. You got grip, you got traction because it's turf. Okay. But the field in Chicago in September is totally different than December or February or January. It's going to be 2 different fields. Okay. And they don't have underground heaters running through that stuff. You're running on compacted dirt, hard cement, plain and simple.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of Chicago Bears fans that love the fact that you mentioned playing on Chicago Field in January, even though it hasn't happened in a long time.
Right.
What does he mean it's hard during January?
Who knows? Does anyone know this answer?
How does he remember that?
Guys, it's 8:48. We have 975 tuning in live right now. Don't forget we are part of the Buff Fan Base Network. Super proud to be, and also sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com right over there by Scooter and give them all your money because they'll do way better things with it than you will. And it helps out a Western New York family in need. You get some great shirts. It's a win, 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 because I'm adding a win every time I do that read. So that's where we're at right now.
5 wins. There you go.
Guys, we're going to push the defensive thing off again until next week because it's way too much fun. And you guys have a bunch of great comments and questions for Mark, and we're having a good time. So anytime you tune in the K-Gun, just don't expect it to be what it's supposed to be. It'll always be fun, though.
It's always fun.
Let me say this, though, about the defenses. Okay.
Yeah.
Just to keep you kind of on track a little bit. When you look at the defenses, okay, when it's in conference, it doesn't matter where they rank. They can have the best defense or the worst defense. In conference, it doesn't matter. Okay, because you see each other twice a year.
Yep.
You change things up. You have a game plan for everyone. So those are, in my opinion, those are the worst teams to face in your division as far as defensive wise. Okay, your division first. Those guys are going to be your biggest threat, because like I told someone, it usually works out this way when you play teams in your division. And if you really think about this and you kind of look it up, it goes one of three ways. You either win big, you lose big, or it's close. Okay. It's never one of those games where it's like a touchdown or 10 points where you're in the game, it's comfortable, and you win like that. It's never like that. You either blow them out, or you either get blown out, or it comes down to the last 2 minutes for who's going to win the ball game.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's in your division. Then when you look at these other teams, you look at the teams that you have common opponents with, or common games with. Like, we play the Chiefs every year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another one of those teams. It's almost like it doesn't matter where they rank defensively. You pretty much know each other. The hardest ones are those teams that are that you play every 3 years, like the Bills playing the Cardinals this year. Okay. The Cardinals are ranked second or last as far as defensively so far coming into the year. Okay. But you haven't seen them. Right. You never played them. Okay. Or you haven't played them in 3 years. And look at the game that we played them the last time. The Cardinals defense wasn't that good. And we lose by a Hail Murray, as they would say.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at that, those the teams that you don't play, it's like it doesn't matter where a team ranks with their defense, and because you're going to see something that you haven't seen, and we all know any given Sunday, any team can win, and it's just a matter of your coaches putting you in the right spot to be successful, and having a better game plan than the other defense.
Yeah.
And that's why that, to me, that's the one thing that kind of gets me. I'm more scared of, okay, if you put on paper the Cardinals defense, the Jets defense, when we play the Jets, I should be scared of the Jets on paper because of their defense. I shouldn't be scared of the Cardinals because of their defense, because their defense is ranked last. Okay. But if I was going to be scared of either one of those two, it's going to be the Cardinals, because I don't know them. I don't know what they do. I don't see them. I don't know how that guy plays. I don't know, how physical he is, how not physical he is. You find that all out when you finally get a chance to bust each other in the mouth. And then you're like, dang, I thought he was kind of soft. He ain't soft at all. Right. Exactly.
That's awesome.
Right. It's not just how they play against other players. You're right. You see them once every 3 years. So how do they play against our players? Some players have vendetta against one another, and they have little arch rivals and all that stuff. So it's not like it's something where you see the Jets and I've got something against that guy, and I know how he plays against me and my skill set. You're right, Mark. You don't get that when you play these teams every 3-4 years.
Yep.
Because a player can show up at any time against any kind of player one-on-one.
An 8-8 New Jersey Giants team limped into the playoffs and beat an undefeated Tom Brady-led Patriots team in the Super Bowl. It can be anything, anytime, anywhere. Whoever's more motivated that day, whoever's got a better game plan. If we're just breaking it down to statistics and numbers, right? And we always say, like, probability only matters until the occurrence happens, and then when it happens, it's 0 or 100, and that's it, right? Like, so what's it matter? But go ahead. No,
if you really want to grind it and see it for yourself, go to FanDuel and make a bet. Pick a defense that's going against the worst rush defense and the worst pass defense. Pick a player from each team going against them. And then when they only score 5 points because that defense shut them down that week, then you're like, how does a 32 ranked defense shut down the top running back? Well, this
because
Sunday
you put money on it. Yeah.
You never know.
Our boy Aaron Mitchell, way back at 8:29 p.m., asked this question. I've been holding on to it for a minute. Mark, who was your favorite divisional matchup each year? Who did you wait to play divisionally each year?
Actually, you know what? I liked I like playing I like playing two teams in our division, the Colts and I like playing the Patriots. And the reason I like playing the Colts is I think their running back was Johnny Johnson, or what was his name?
Yeah, number 39. Oh, hold on. The Colts running back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was Johnson, or
there was a Johnny Johnson that played for the Cardinals.
right. And I think that's why I said Johnny, because I know Johnny. But no, there was look up the running back for the Colts in like 94, 95.
Bentley?
No.
Jarrod Allen.
Who's
I'm
looking?
on it.
Oh, and the other team on the reason
Marshall
the Colts.
Falk.
Well, Falk. There was someone else after him too.
That was 94. Hold on.
90s was Falk. You had Roosevelt Potts as a fullback. Anthony Johnson was a running back.
There it is. It wasn't
Anthony
Johnny
Johnson.
Anthony Johnson.
Was it him? I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy. But the reason I liked the Patriots was because of Sam Gash, who actually came to Buffalo, the fullback.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the reason I like playing him is because he block you head up. He's like, I'm going to win or you're going to win. I'm not trying to cut you. I'm not trying to take your legs out. He came out and blocked you one-on-one.
Right.
And I love that about him. And I respected him because of that. And that's why
nice
I like
neck roll too.
Yeah, that's the reason I like playing them, is because I like playing teams that have players that are like, I'm going to beat you one-on-one.
Right.
Well, Anthony Johnson, the number 23 for the Colts, I just looked it up. He was 6 foot, 225 pounds. That's a huge running back. So that's probably why you like to play him. He's physical.
Yeah.
But no doubt, you enjoy those players that want to face you mano-a-mano, not take out your legs, not cheap shot you, not chip you. So, yeah, and you're safe playing those guys.
Yeah.
Do you actually go into games knowing, Mark, obviously you do your studies and all that stuff. Do you say, well, I'm a linebacker. They use the fullback, the 22 personnel or 21 personnel quite a bit, and I know the lead blockers are going to come through and actually take me on, and I don't have to worry about that stuff. Does that play a key part in filling holes or even taking on that lead blocker?
Yeah. I mean, what it does is it doesn't make you, well, of course you don't hesitate, but you know what you have to look for with certain players. Like Daryl Johnson, loved him because he was the same way. He would try to block you. He wouldn't try to cut you. He wouldn't try to go out and take out your legs. Now, Merrill Hodge was 50-50. He might block you. He might take out your legs. Okay. But when you got like Daryl Johnson, Sam Gash, when they came at you, they came at you. And so when you watch film, I didn't have to think about him trying to cut me, because I knew the only way he would try to cut me is if he got tripped up or something like that. But if he was coming to block me, he was coming to block me,
Gotcha.
And we both were going to have a headache because I'm going to hit him, plain and simple. And that's why I love playing New England, because of him and his work ethic and how he would come out at you.
Yeah, right. Coach, can you put a couple extra pumps in my helmet for this game? I need it a little more snug.
Let's see. Danielle in Buffalo, New York, over on Twitter, which is now called X, wants to ask a technical QB practice question. She
They don't practice. Okay, go ahead.
There it is. And there you are. Danielle, thanks for your question. During practice, both QBs line up together, drop back together, and throw at the same time. What is the reason for it, and how does it not throw off either QB in all three factors, the drop back, the look and then throw, and just curious from a training aspect, the purpose?
Well, it's not like they're doing it well, technically they are doing it at the same time, but all they're doing is they're doing one snap count. So one of the quarterbacks is making a play call, and they know where they're throwing. They're either throwing a quick out or anything like that. It's more of a warm-up drill for them. And so when they go through their progressions, they'll throw like an out route, they'll throw a slant, they might throw a little bit of an in route and then an out route. So what they do is they work their throws down the field, but the way they warm up is one quarterback will call it. They'll both do their 3-step drop. And then if it's a 3-step drop, they drop 3 steps, they throw the ball. If it's a longer pass, it might be a 5-step drop. So they'll drop back 5 steps, they'll plant, and they'll throw the ball. So it's all a part of their warm up is what it is. And they just both do it at the same time.
Yep. As a quarterback guy, we did that all the time, 3 quarterbacks at the same time. If you went one at a time, it would take forever.
Yep.
It's get your arm loose. It's the wide receivers are able to run, and it's a timing thing as well. So you just hone in on that, and it doesn't bother us at all. You're focused on that one guy you're throwing to, and that is what it is.
Because the one guy runs the same pattern every time, right? The guy on the left's doing this.
Yeah,
right. Doing this.
All 3 quarterbacks are doing the same drop. All wide receivers, 99% of the time, are running the same exact
route. Mm-hmm. If one's running across the field, they're all running across the field. Exactly.
There you have it, Daniel.
They figured that out quick.
My boy Patrick is right on it. He says, Swank Oliver, it's overtime. That's right. It's past 9 o'clock or exactly at 9 o'clock, and we're unprofessional, and we usually go over a little bit, and it's with Mark, and we're having a great time. So we'll probably do a couple more little things here and do some final thoughts. But thank you guys so much for being in the conversation and have a great time with us. And don't forget, go 26 shirts, man. Just go over there. Just give them everything. Just go ahead. So I know that was a great defensive synopsis overall that you gave there, right? The summary. The Pats are the last one, though, right? Like the Patriots.
To be scared of?
Yeah.
Well, maybe in the division they're the last ones to be scared of, but
I just can't get it. I just cannot get any respect for them. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just the 20 years of beat downs, but like I can't. I'm
the
good
fact
with
that Billy Belichick left, that's a huge key too for that defense.
Billy Belly. Yeah.
Yeah. Where the Patriots? Where are they ranked this year? The thing that sucks with the Bills is that they got like out of the teams, they got like so many in the top 15. They probably got like 9 teams in the top 15 or 8 in the top 15.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, New England last year finished 10th in the pass, 4th in the rush, and 9th in scoring. So the Patriots defense actually is what kept them in the games for most of the season. So they have a stout defense.
You mean it wasn't Mac Jones for half the season?
Or Zappy?
I tell you, like the big teams on this list for me were like I was like, I give the Chiefs their respect. They're top of the mountain until they're not, right? But then I was like, but they're playing San Fran.
Yeah.
So for me, if we're just talking about defense, man, San Fran is like, geez.
Yeah.
That's a big ask.
That is. San Fran is going to be huge. Even the Ravens got a good defense. They're in the top 10.
Well, yeah. I got the
Houston's
Jets
in the top 10.
Yeah.
Jets are in the top 10.
Yeah, I have Jets my number 1 concern, then Baltimore, then the Niners. So I think the 49ers at number 3 because, again, like you said, we only see them once every 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But that could be a hit or miss game. If our coaching staff can come up with a scheme right away, that's going to be the beneficial part.
Yeah. And, our offense, it scares people. And, you can look at these teams on paper and see what they do and what they don't do. But it becomes like if you're going to play man, you got to play man with a spy, okay? Because you got to have someone spy Josh, okay? So that opens it up a little bit more. Even though you're playing man, you're not rushing 5, okay? It's going to be hard to if you do rush 5, you're playing and you got a spy. You better hope someone doesn't get open because you got to cover the other 5 guys who are out on pass routes with 5 guys, and you're leaving Josh one-on-one with 1 guy. Or you're leaving Keon one-on-one with 1 guy. You're leaving these or Knox or Kincaid, so that's where it gets a little bit different because of just our offense. Our offense will neutralize some of these great defenses based on what we do and where the coaches put them. And because like I said, if you're going to play man, you got to spy Josh. Okay. Because Josh will see it and he will run. Okay. And so that's why you can look at these rankings and say these teams are, like San Francisco, they got a great defense. And, and Floyd being there, knowing our offense, knowing some of the keys, some of the tendencies and this and that, it still becomes a matter of fact of can they get to Josh before he has opportunity to throw the ball,
right.
Or is he going to read this man defense and then he's going to take off running and they don't have anyone that can cover him or keep up with him. So, and so you can have, like I said, you can have the worst defense, and because you haven't played them, you don't know what they do or how these guys react, and they're winning 21-0, and you can't move the ball.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's that's the fun of it, I guess.
That's why we watch the game. That's why
That's why they play the games.
Yeah,
for real.
I was talking about CMC here, man. I was watching that receiver series on Netflix, and I love George Kittle. I can't help but love George Kittle.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that Josh Allen and him would be in the locker room someday. I think it would be the funnest thing in the whole world. But
Kittle's he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's hilarious. But yeah, it's still when we play San Francisco, it will be a good game.
Yeah. We'll be there, I think, right? We're going to be there, Scott.
I got tickets saved for us, Swank.
Hell yeah. So
just hope it's not like when we played San Francisco back in the day. It was my second year, and we never punted.
Yep.
They never punted.
Mm-hmm.
It was the no punt game.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I had an easy day at work that day. No, not take that back, because we had a lot of kickoff returns that game.
Yeah.
I bet.
Oh.
Remember that.
A little tired.
That was on that field that had the baseball field and grass, right?
Sucked.
Yeah.
Sucked.
It got great grip. Oh, there's the sand.
Yep, I'm on the sand.
That's the question. Yeah, that's the question you guys should have asked. Which one did he hate to play on?
Yeah.
Oh, I already told you that one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did.
Cleveland. Hate Cleveland.
Cleveland.
As far as grass and turf was Philly and Pittsburgh. And Philly was not only because of the turf, but because of the fans. Those fans, those fans right there, boy. They'll tell you things that you didn't even know about yourself. You didn't know about your mom. You didn't know about your
mom. I was gonna say.
I don't know, Mom. This guy said it on sentence. I just had to confirm or.
Yeah, you didn't know about your sister that you didn't have. So they're bad.
Oh man, that's what my buddy. He lives down. Was that King of Prussia? It's like right outside of Philly, and his wife is a Eagles fan, and he's a Bills fan, and he went to go see him when they played down there a couple seasons ago or whatever. And he's like, I'm not going to wear my jersey. And I'm like, get out of here, dude. Wear your jersey. And he's like, I can't. I'm not going to. And I'm like, that's weak. That's super weak. And he goes, people get the shit kicked out of them all the time.
It's that bad.
Yeah.
It's that bad. I believe
that's gnarly. That's completely gnarly to me.
And I bowl on Friday nights in this Vegas league. And the guy I bowl with is a Philly fan. And he runs the Philly Backers Bar out here. Mm-hmm. He's a great guy, great dude. And we laugh and we joke and we have fun. And I even told him, I'm like, yeah, you're fans, man. There's something wrong with them. And he looked at me and he goes, yep, there is. He goes, there is. He goes,
that's why he's in Arizona.
Yeah. He goes, but I'm not like them. But yeah, there is.
Is it Philadelphia or Pittsburgh that has an actual jail or a court system in their basement of their stadium?
I thought it was Philly.
It might be Philly,
Philadelphia.
I was like, probably Philly.
And
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Take them downstairs.
Book them.
Book them, Daniel.
All right, guys. This has been a great time, and thank you all out there in comment and viewership land. 1,106 people live right now. Appreciate you guys so much. Thanks so much to our guest, Mr. Mark Maddox. We're going to go around and do final thoughts and let you guys get on with your night. I know Jerry's got a sick one there at home there, so he's trying to get back to that. But Mark, why don't you lead us off there with a final thought for us?
Oh, right. Let me see. We were supposed to talk about defenses. So my final thought still will be on the defense. I really hope this year that, I believe that the Bills defense will, help them win some games. I really feel that way, and keep them in games and hopefully not put a lot of pressure on the offense. I really believe that with Milano coming back, with Vaughn in his second year of recovery, that the team will improve just because of that. Mm-hmm. And I know he's going to improve and be better. And, like you said, the additions that we got, free agency, and, I know we lost a couple key guys that would have been nice to still have. But the teams prepare for those losses, I really, truly feel. And that I think the Bills are ranked like on Bleacher Report, like 16th or 17th, somewhere in the middle of the pack. I really think they will turn out better than that and end up, I predict them being a top 10 defense, everything gelling and coming together, and those young guys getting in there and just knowing the system and doing things, like I said, because when Marv gets Patton and I stepped in, everybody thought we were going to be worse than what we were, but we brought more speed. We were just as physical as Shane and Carlton, but we brought more speed, and that really helped our defense improve because we could fly. And I think that these young guys can do the same thing. And, everybody's getting better. Russo is getting so much better, So
Yeah.
they got a great opportunity to do good things defensively this year. So that's my simple little final thought.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Jerry, what do you got for us tonight, buddy?
Man, they start running around on the field tomorrow. I can't wait to see all the little clips coming out of there and news reports, and then come back next Tuesday and talk about actual football being played on the practice field, still field. Thanks, Bills Mafia. Thanks, Fandemonium, for participating tonight. I loved every second of it. Listen to Mark talk. Mark, I want you to finish my final thought with what you got going on for the Help One Foundation. I know you have a couple more days before your raffle thing going on.
Well, it's okay. Go ahead.
Nope, you go.
It's going to get pushed out because we got to sell way too many tickets in order to do what you call. But I run Help One Foundation, and we try to do so much throughout the year between books, book bags, blessing bags, feeding the homeless, holiday gifts for low-income families that have a child with special needs. And I do so many little fundraisers that, money in, money out. So we never do anything big to generate income. And we're to the point where it's a lot of work on me because I do most of this by myself. So it's a lot of work on me that I'm like, we need to do something big so we can just really have everything ready to go. So what we decided to do was a car raffle. We tried to get a car donated through a couple places and stuff like that, but we weren't able to. So we said, we'll just buy the car. We'll sell 700 tickets to 1,000 tickets, and we'll sell them at $100. We were going to do $50 to $75, but due to IRS regulations, if you sell the ticket for $50 and you gave away a car that was $25,000, is more than 300 times the cost of the ticket. So if you won that, I have to give you a W-2G gambling income form for that. And if it's over $5,000 and 300 times the ticket price, we have to withhold federal taxes on it. And so I was like, so the only way we could get away with that or get away from that is we have to sell the tickets for $100 because 300 times the ticket price is $30,000. So we're well under that. So that's the key there, to alleviate that. And because it is more than $5,000, but is less than 300 times the price of the ticket, we don't have to do the federal withholding either for the person.
Nice.
So, so we're trying to do that. We're trying to get the tickets. And I mean, I'm all over the place with people contacting and stuff like that. So we pushed it out to August 3rd. I believe we're going to have to push it to Labor Day next if I don't get an influx of people, purchasing the tickets. And so if anyone wanted to know what we're doing with the income that comes in, we hope to be able to make about $40,000. Okay. After paying out the car and doing 5 $1,000 gifts. Okay. So that's going to be $30,000, and we'll take the other $40,000. We're going to utilize $20,000 to go towards our holiday for the Christmas with the kids and the families. And we do this so people know we don't do this just where I'm at in Arizona. We do this throughout the U.S. There's my Facebook group called Bills Mafia Nation, and I'm also part of the Mafia or the Bills Mafia Babes or the Bills Babes. What is
Bills
it?
Mafia Babes.
Bills Mafia,
Bills
yeah,
Mafia
you got it.
Babes, Bills Babe Mafia. One of them. I can't even think of the name right now. I'm going crazy.
The babes of the Bills Mafia.
But the Bills Mafia Babes, I contact people in those groups and I ask them to find families in their area where they live that may have someone that has special needs and low income. And then we supply gifts to them where we'll send the gifts. Like we've done Florida, we've done South Carolina, we've done New York, we've done Atlanta, we've done Pennsylvania, we've done, of course, here in Arizona. And so, but this is just people in these, just people who are part of the mafia. And so we give back to the mafia group through people that they may know who need help. And so we're, oh, Joy. Hey, Joy. And so we always do that, or so that's our goal, but we always try to find people in the mafia in other states to help people in their area that need help. It's the same thing with the books. We've sent books to multiple states. Okay. Mm-hmm. And last year we did a little over 3,000 books, but our goal is this year, like I said, 20,000 for the kids. Okay. Through multiple states. And then we want to take another $5,000 to $10,000 to do a fall book drive to send out books to places, and the other $10,000 to support the homeless as far as blessing bags. And we want to do the blessing bags in multiple areas. So like if we had someone back in Buffalo, we want to do more blankets and stuff like that, because we usually do this around Thanksgiving in the month of November. And so we usually do that in November, and we do the Christmas stuff in December, of course. And the books we're trying to do also early November, December for the kids to have over break and stuff like that.
Nice.
And so, but it's one of those things is, when you're an ex-player, it's hard to generate the income that the current players do, or players like a Jim Kelly or like a Thurman Thomas or like an Andre Reed. I have people who really support me, and, but it's not 700 people saying, okay, we'll do it. Right. But that's what we truly, truly need to get us through the year and not have to, do a raffle jersey every week to try to, do what you call, where we're not going to be able to help as many kids as we want, even though the numbers aren't important. The most important part is that we do help. But the thing is, it's been 5 years now for me doing this here, because we started in 6 years, that now it's like we have to do it bigger. We have to get bigger, in order to keep moving on. Because just beating my head over and over and over and contributing more than, we should, personally, because that's the reason we built it, is because we want to be able to get people to help other people, because I'm still going to do what I do, right? But because it becomes a strain, after a while financially, when you're not the person that's bringing in millions of dollars in sponsorship, or you're getting money from all these other groups and stuff like that. And so, because I'm not that guy. I'm not making commercials. I'm not Daryl Talley, and, where we're getting invited back to the Bills training camp. We're getting invited back to things like that. Everything that I do pretty much on my own.
Well, we just we threw the link out there, and we got some people that have been sharing around other groups, and don't forget to do that. It's a great cause. And also, we got a rager that we're doing. We're raising some money for Help One Foundation. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's going to be, it's the 1st, right?
31st.
31st.
Wait, the 31st is Saturday?
August
so,
31st.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah. And I do plan on being there. And so
nice.
I do plan on getting back. I do plan on doing a lot of stuff, going places. And like I told someone that, because we do the little fundraisers where we go to the backers and we do stuff. I'm like, it costs us more to go to the backers because we give away more stuff than we bring in, But the best part about it is we get to meet the people.
Yeah.
My buddy Bob and I that guy is just one of the greatest people that I know because he genuinely loves the Bills. Okay. He's a true friend, you know, is not about what I can do for him or anything like that. It's just that, hey, Mark is my buddy. I'm his buddy. You know, we love the Bills. We love going to these places and we meet some of the greatest people. The fans and stuff like that we meet are just unbelievable that they're like, are you coming back next year? We're like, okay, we got to go back to LA. We got to go back to Vegas. We got to go here. We got to go here. We got to go to El Paso. We got to go to Albuquerque, you know, and we have these places that we have to go back to just because the people are amazing, you know, and just to hang out with them, watch a football game, give them pictures, talk to them, just to be there is unbelievable. And I mean, they appreciate it. They love it. You know, they participate in our raffle and stuff like that we have, but it's more about being there, enjoying our team with each other.
And that's what the regular season Rager is all about. Is we have this big tailgate kickoff party before the season starts for the people that follow us on our pages, and it's to help raise money for Mark Maddox's the Help One Foundation, and that's our biggest goal is to meet the people that contribute, meet you, Mark, the people that want to actually shake your hand and say thank you for doing this, and it's a beautiful thing. Mark came out 2 years ago, and just starstruck fans. You know, we had a great time. We raised good money, and that's us. It was a good old time.
Yeah, we got to get people to fly in this year. Tell them to start booking their tickets. Start booking your tickets.
Oh, we're pushing the hell out of it.
But yeah, you'll see more information on that. But it is August 31st at Reinvention Brewing, 3 to 9, and we're gonna have a good old time doing it.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
Was that your final thought, Scott?
Yeah, I was going to talk a little bit about what Mark was talking about with the defense and all that, but no, that's my final thought for tonight. Yeah.
Yep. All right, well, good job. You did great. All right, guys. Well, it's to me. Love you very much. Appreciate all of your comments and the views and supporting our page and our friend, Mr. Mark Maddox. And thank you again, Mark, for coming and being just the best guest in the whole Bills sphere that we've ever had. It's a pleasure to call you a friend and to have you on and doing all this stuff. So, you guys, you can catch us every 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here where you're watching us. That's YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, any of those places for the K-Gun Report. Don't forget when the season kicks off, we also do Sunday sessions an hour and a half before kickoff. That's me and Scooter Magooter and Mr. Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Takes Sports Podcast, giving you all the inactives and our last-minute takes. You guys killed it in the comments tonight. Again, just pushed our whole topic right off a mountain. I love it. We had a great time, and go Bills.
Love it. Thanks, Mark. Go Bills.
Yeah. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go.
Sweet talk the beanstalk, tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy to a different kind.